On September 7, 1812, two enormous armies collided near a small Russian village. By nightfall, tens of thousands of men would be dead or wounded, and Napoleon would discover that winning a battlefield was not the same as winning a war. Napoleon Bonaparte had marched his Grande Armée deep into Russia, expecting the Russian army to surrender after a decisive confrontation. Instead, the Russians finally chose to stand near the village of Borodino. Before dawn, hundreds of thousands of soldiers prepared for battle. French and Russian artillery lined the battlefield. Infantry formed massive ranks, cavalry waited behind the lines, and commanders prepared for what would become one of the bloodiest single days of the Napoleonic Wars. Then, the silence was shattered. French and Russian cannons opened fire across the countryside. Smoke rolled over the fields as infantry advanced through explosions and musket fire. French soldiers attacked Russian positions while Russian troops fought desperately to hold their ground. The fighting became especially fierce around the Raevski Redoubt, a heavily fortified Russian position. Again and again, French forces attacked the redoubt. Artillery thundered at close range, cavalry charged through clouds of smoke, and soldiers fought desperately for every position. For hours, neither side could achieve a decisive breakthrough. The battlefield became a scene of extraordinary destruction. Thousands of men were killed or wounded, while exhausted soldiers continued fighting amid smoke, dust, broken weapons, and fallen horses. By the end of the day, Napoleon's forces had captured important Russian positions and remained in possession of the battlefield. But the victory came at an enormous cost. More importantly, the Russian army had survived. General Kutuzov ordered a withdrawal, but it was an organized retreat. The Russian army remained a powerful fighting force, ready to continue the war. Napoleon moved on toward Moscow, believing that capturing Russia's ancient capital might finally force the emperor to surrender. But when the French entered Moscow, they found the city largely abandoned. Fires soon spread through the streets, and Napoleon's expected victory turned into a nightmare. With no peace agreement and winter approaching, the Grande Armée was forced to retreat across the vast Russian landscape. The army that had entered Russia with immense strength was now exhausted, starving, and freezing. Borodino had been a battlefield victory for Napoleon, but not the decisive victory he needed. The Russian army survived. Moscow brought no peace, and the campaign that began with one of Europe's greatest armies would end in catastrophe. Borodino did not destroy Napoleon's enemies, it simply began the road to his defeat.